Hello, it's Blah6 and Equestron back again for our end of the year shenanigans, and we're going to be starting off with a Ghibli tier list real quick because we've just about seen almost every single film of the lineup.
Well, you have I still have quite a few I haven't seen, but it's a good amount.
Yeah, Earwig and Kaguya are the only ones I haven't seen yet.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. So, we'll go in order of we'll do worst to best, I guess.
Mm.
And I'm glad I'm recording now because now I can do this.
He's a damn liar.
Well, to be fair, I don't know anybody who ever said that movie was good.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, except you.
and Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes does not really favor like half of Ghibli's works.
Mm.
Oh wait, no. Wait, no, wait. That's
I
not.
think there's only one movie that Ghibli made that they actually really rated rotten, and it was Earwig, I think.
Yeah, I think Ocean Waves was like 2026. I don't know.
Mm.
Wait, no. Wait. Well, we'll just
Ocean
say
Waves was
well.
Ocean Waves was '86 actually.
For fuck's sake!
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. Whoever, Rotten Tomatoes said this was good as a goddamn liar. Yeah.
Rotten
Okay.
Tomatoes.
Yeah. Before I bash Ocean Waves, do you have what did you put in this tier?
Um, I mean, I could always just send you my picture.
Yeah. Just send it through there, and I'll describe it to the people because switching it between thing and thing is a little
Yeah,
too. Oh man, you still haven't seen Porco Rosso?
yeah.
And Kiki's Delivery Service neither.
Mm.
Huh. Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah. So. Yeah.
But yeah,
I'll do
I
my.
like
Yeah, I'll do my two. In the ones underneath your first one, because, my God.
I put Ocean Waves in my so comforting, the ideal movie to watch while I'm eating list. Because I mean, like I had a good time watching it. Like it's definitely like in the lower tier of the so comforting area, or but like it's short. It tells a pretty concise story. It's like, and I personally kind of enjoyed like the the not very romantic but kind of romantic story. Where just it just and then culminating in like when he's thinking about all the good times he spent with her. It's like all the bad times he spent with her. It's more of like a nostalgic piece, I guess.
I love how you're
I
trying
guess.
to argue with a movie that has less romance in it than the one where they thought that they were brother and sister in it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Now we'll start off with that. The
like
romance
I,
that you
I
think is in here.
that I think is in there.
Is-
I personally thought it was I personally thought it was more romantic than the brother and sister movie. Like it sort of reminded me a little bit of
okay.
sorry, let me finish my thought.
Okay, I'll finish your thought.
It reminded me of when Harry met Sally. If they never actually went through, they never actually like became romantic. It was more like because I remember at the beginning of that movie they were argumentative with one another, and then only later on down the line, like it actually fell into a romance. It was like Ocean Waves is pretty much like the entire argumentative portion of when Harry met Sally, and at the very end they're like, oh yeah, we actually like each other.
Okay. I there okay. Let me try to say what I'm saying.
Without being
There's
derogatory.
I try not to be. There's this anime that I saw years ago. I don't remember what it's called. It had this loner guy and this white-haired girl that was a part of this. I don't remember what it was. I think it was a school club,
Mm-hmm.
and they and they just, I don't remember everything about it, but the one thing I do remember was the ending where they get together, and I was furious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't remember exactly why, but it just made me angry beyond all reason. This,
Well, probably because you felt like they didn't have any romantic chemistry, which is probably how you feel about this movie.
yeah, but because I saw that one ahead of time,
Mm.
I knew a similar story where the chemistry was lacking, and thus I could more appropriately react to this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in you, Ocean Waves, for not being better.
I'm disappointed. You could have been better. Go to your room. No allowance for a week.
Like it's just Ghibli, the most not romantic studio I've seen in my life, has done romance better than you.
Mm.
And like, it, yeah, and like it's barely even a story. It's just like, well, we're just going to do this one thing. It's like, oh, I met you in this other place. I they don't even try to make it like, oh, I'm your pretend boyfriend. It's like they're not just avoiding cliches. They're straight up dodging them like a fucking RPG. Yeah, they're not even attempting to be subversive in any way. It's just like, oh, well, we're just going to avoid any kind of confusion because this boy is an ass and this girl is a bitch.
Together they are ass bitch.
Some old bitch ass film. I just like it definitely made me mad, but not as nuclearly mad as the anime I mentioned earlier. But
Oh, okay.
like I'm more disappointed than I am mad, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just I don't think I ever want to see this movie again.
That's fair.
But there are movies that are worse. I think Fireworks, an anime movie from 2017, is even more incoherent and even more baffling than this one.
Mm.
And
I think I remember being slightly interested in that movie just because they're like from the studio that brought you Your Name. I was like, oh, that might be just as good. Then I heard it wasn't, and I was like, oh no, I'm good.
no, it really wasn't. It was incomprehensible.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking and there's another movie, Ride Your Wave, which was more disappointing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I've heard of that one.
Because like I had high hopes because it looked like it was gonna be a romantic thing, and then
Mm-hmm.
and then it kind of wasn't, and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, what the hell? Yeah,
uh,
it's a movie that just makes you
sigh.
sigh.
It just makes you sigh. That's your review on the blurb. Ocean Waves. It's a movie that makes you sigh.
Yeah, and what the fuck did it even have to do with the ocean in the first place? Yeah, the movie is called Ocean Waves, but it's just about a guy and a girl interacting at school. That's it. That's it. Ugh. All right. In the category above that, watch you to watch you, whatever, watch you know. In the bottom, I put Pom Poko, the movie
Mm-hmm.
about the Tanukis.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no, raccoons, because they clearly were not Tanukis, because apparently, yeah, it was bizarre.
It was a pretty bizarre movie. It had its charms. I enjoyed watching most of it, but it could have been better.
Yeah, it was it was confusing, but not in a really frustrating way. But still, the confusion made me a bit upset.
Mm. Also, it was a little bit too long, a little bit long in the tooth.
Yeah, it was longer than necessary for sure.
Probably could
Oh,
have been like a good 90 minutes or something.
oh, you have it on the. Oh, you have it at the bottom technically.
Yeah, bottom of good, but you could have been better.
Yeah. All right.
Like I enjoyed the somewhat documentary style that they were going with, but but also kind of felt like they like I don't know, kind of rarely committed to it.
I think it's because that there were too many characters that they were focusing on. If it was like a smaller tribe of raccoons, then it probably
Hmm.
would have worked better. But they had
Right.
two rivaling tribes basically. Um,
Too
uh,
many characters to keep track of.
yeah, exactly. All right, and then I have when Marnie was there.
Hmm.
Now I interpret this tier to mean two different things.
Hmm.
One is a movie that I just don't want to rewatch for negative reasons, and I don't want to
Hmm.
rewatch it for emotionally crippling reasons.
Hmm.
And that's why when Marnie was there is down here as opposed to being up there. It
Hmm.
is really fantastic as a movie, but I
Hmm.
don't want to rewatch it to just risk myself from breaking.
Hmm.
And you have it like all the way at the highest tier.
Yeah, I have it all up, and I'm so glad you exist. If I could inject you in my veins, I would.
Yeah.
It was definitely like I think it was one of my favorite movies of the year it came out in, and I was like really upset that didn't get nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, it's almost like the Oscars are a pile of garbage.
I know, right?
It really just feels like they're just doing what they like. It feels like Illumination and DreamWorks just here have money. Make sure our stuff is highlighted somewhere.
Yeah, I think if Wish gets nominated and wins, I'm gonna like riot in the streets.
Yeah, it was good, not great or
Mhm.
fantastic.
Not Oscar worthy.
Yeah, but we'll get to that when we get to the year in review.
Hmm.
All right. Next up for me, could we're good but could have been better is Grave of the Fireflies.
Hmm.
And yeah, it feels like this movie is. Wait, you put it in. Loved it, but it won't.
Yeah, I made my own little tier called "Loved It, but I'll never watch you again."
That's probably where I would put. Marnie was there, I guess,
Hmm.
if I had one of those. But yeah, I guess that's it for you.
Hmm. Like it definitely was like a really good movie. Like, and it definitely it made its point. It made its point and did it really well. Like, but it's not the kind of movie that I would like sit down and watch ever again.
Yeah, it is it runs the theme of Ghibli movies usually tend to mention or depict war a lot.
Hmm.
And this is probably the most, I guess, realistic and depressing version of that.
Right.
And it's just like two kids basically become homeless,
Hmm.
and one of them dies, and then the other one dies, and it's just fucking depressing.
Yeah. It's like it was like, well, we suitably made you depressed. Go home.
And you want to know what I always thought this movie was about?
What?
The ending where like a whole town gets annihilated by a bomb.
Uh.
That's what I thought this movie was, but no,
Mhm.
turns out it's actually more depressing than that.
It's more depressed. It's about kids dying, pretty much.
Yeah. All right, and here's one I don't think you've seen: Tales from Earthsea.
No. The only thing I know about that movie is that the director's father walked out in the middle of it.
Oh yeah, Miyazaki's son.
Yeah,
Oh, that is fucking unfortunate.
because he was like, "Hey, let's check out the movie I did, Dad." He was like, "Oh, that's great, son. It wasn't very good, so I walked out." I'm like, "Damn, Miyazaki,
And
got through
believe
him like that."
I actually feel bad for this movie because it had a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm.
Like I liked the like okay, so there's this kid. He basically becomes an apprentice to this magic dude,
Mm-hmm.
and so they go off and have Tolkien-esque adventures for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then like there's this girl who kind of doesn't like the main character for a bit, and then likes him,
Mm-hmm.
and then what was
As
it?
girls in anime tend to do.
Yeah, I think she gets. Wait, no, no, I know she wasn't the one who was kidnapped. The guy, the mentor, gets kidnapped, and then
Mm.
and then they both go after him, and then she turns into a fucking dragon,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think they live happily ever after somewhere. I don't fucking remember.
Make dragon babies.
Dronkies, I don't know. Like it feels well, and I know it's based on a book series, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, this definitely feels like they skipped over a lot of details.
Yeah, I think that was like the main complaint people had. Was like it feels like they skipped a lot. Like,
Yeah.
apparently, like visually, it looks really good. It just
Oh
the
yeah,
story just isn't great.
it looks really nice, really
Mm-hmm.
great.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel bad that it was used and not.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes me question why they don't take promising franchises from books and
Mm-hmm.
promise at least two movies or something to work out everything.
Right. That makes sense.
It just makes me sad that a movie looked that good, had a lot of potential, and it just didn't manage to do it. And I feel bad for it. It's all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. And now, probably not very controversially, Boy and the Heron is also in here.
Yeah. Well, probably controversially for us, considering that it's like it's like a universally beloved movie, like outside of this outside of this list. But yeah,
I'm pretty sure Boy and the Heron is getting at least well,
some minor pushback.
the complaints are definitely the same ones that we have. I'm pretty sure they're just not
Mm.
as heavily uh, what's the word? Um, like we're being harsher on it, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Yeah, like this is a movie like I like like even though it was good, I was also very disappointed in it.
Yeah, it
Like
this
like it like because when it first started, I was like, okay, this movie's gonna be like amazing. This movie's gonna be like this movie is gonna be like one of the best movies of the year. It's like, but then the more it went on, like there were parts where like I just was not interested in it. Like one of my problems with the movie is that the pacing is all over the place.
yeah.
Like there are times where it's like it feels like it's moving forward, but then other times where it feels like the movie just kind of stops itself dead for whatever reason. Like the constant scenes of people getting ready for things,
Yeah, all right.
like meticulously animating, putting on clothes or making tea and all that stuff. It just felt like it was just I'm just like move, go move, get on with it.
No, it reminds me of that fucking one scene where Mr. Krabs and a fish are just trying to go and is like, "Move it! You ever blink you're on for 5 minutes?"
Yeah. And then it's one of those like it feels like the movie's like picking up, and then it just ends. It's like I'm like, oh, okay. Like I guess the movie's over now. Like I was actually expecting a post credit scene or something like that, but nothing. It's like,
Ah,
oh, oh,
that's another thing that this movie shares with another Ghibli movie, an abrupt ending from Kiki's Delivery Service.
yeah.
Oh, but
And
you'll see that eventually. But yeah,
yeah, because like I remember you mentioning that Miyazaki kind of struggles with endings a little bit, and I'm like it felt more the most apparent here, or it
I
just felt
wouldn't
like
say he struggles with endings. It was just mostly something from Kiki's Delivery Service where it was just
mm-hmm,
like, oh, the movie just is over. Okay.
mm-hmm. Like but like Miyazaki he has like great ideas and he's a great visual storyteller, but like I think of all the movies I've seen, like they all had like it just ends on a note, but this was like the most like confusing, like abrupt ending I've seen him do.
Yeah.
I was like, and I wasn't sure if it was the problem with the English dub because it felt like it was going to continue, or if it's just like that was just the movie, that was just the problem with the movie in general. Because surprisingly I saw this movie dubbed. I didn't seek out the subtitled version, which I usually do, but I was too intrigued by the thought of Robert Pattinson being being in a Ghibli movie. And I think, and credit where credit due, he did a really great job in the movie as the Heron.
I wait. So the Heron was not Willem Dafoe?
No, the Heron was Robert Pattinson.
Oh, you mean like the new Batman?
Yeah, and then it was like you could not tell that Robert Pattinson voiced the Heron.
I watched it subbed, and
Uh-huh.
a part of me feels like I'd probably like it a little bit more if I watched it dubbed, but not
Mm-hmm.
much more.
Right. And like, and also the twist with the girl that was with the boy. Yeah, right away when Marnie was there. Only like a worse version of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that transitions pretty well into my theory that this one is basically reusing a lot of aspects from other Ghibli movies. Like, for example, there is a war going on, or there was a war going on.
Mm-hmm.
An anthropomorphic animal world like Cat Returns.
Mm-hmm.
Making plane parts like The Wind Rises.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, fuck, what else? God, I don't. Like I said, an abrupt ending, like Kiki's Delivery Service. I don't remember exactly what else.
Mm-hmm. Like and the 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 female companion is actually a relative.
Oh yeah, yeah, like Marnie was there.
when
Yeah, yeah.
when Marnie was there, and at least when Marnie was there, it was a genuine surprise. But in Boy and the Heron, I was like, I guessed it like the minute she showed up.
I think the problem is that you already know what you already know with when Marnie was there, so maybe you saw the signs a bit easier.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to give it at least a little credit, but I don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. So I decided to add a tier for Marnie because I felt like, yeah, that's a more appropriate way to say it. Loved it, but would never watch it again.
Yeah.
All right. Now for My Neighbors, the Amadas.
Mm-hmm.
This one's based on a previous property as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it felt relatable in some ways and not relatable in others.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably end up liking it a lot more when I have my own family,
Mm-hmm.
but for a bunch of single guys, it's not exactly that relatable.
It's not exactly compelling cinema.
It was humorous, but
Uh,
it was definitely one of the lesser works. I'm not
yeah.
sure how exactly you'd want to improve it, but
Mm. Meanwhile, I put it in the top tier.
yeah. Well, why do you think it deserves to be higher?
I mean, it's not like I think it deserves to be higher. Just why I personally feel it's higher. It just feels like a very kind of a weirdly realistic portrayal of a family. It kind of reminded me of my family a little bit.
I think the problem is that, like, you still have your both of your parents in your household, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, and so I kind of saw like a lot of my family in the Yamadas, and so it brought on a very nostalgic feeling to me. And also, I just thought the movie was just hilarious.
Yeah, I think maybe you should watch that with your family sometime.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably get more out of it that way. All right,
Mm-hmm.
and let's see. Do you have anything in? I don't remember, but
Yeah,
no.
I don't.
All right, I guess we're moving on to the higher tiers then.
The higher tiers.
All right. So comforting. The ideal movie to watch when I'm eating. We're starting with Only Yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
which I was tempted to actually demote to. I don't remember you much, but I do like you.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, this is the story about a lady who's basically leaving the city and is going to live a couple months, if not a whole year, in the countryside as a farmer, and details like her childhood just being a childhood. It reminded me sort of Turning Red at, well, in just like the whole childhood thing and growing up, but not in a. But this was a lot, not as good as Turning Red. Like there were definitely parts I liked about it, but the moment where starts slapping kids is the moment where I question, do I like this or no?
And it's probably just one of those. It was made at a certain time kind of movie. That's what. Sometimes movies remind you it was made at a certain time, and like that's probably one of those instances.
Yeah.
Where during that time it was it was more, or not really like acceptable, but more common to see that happening.
And boy, am I glad that's. I can't even finish that. It still happens, and it makes me upset.
Yeah.
To continue our depressing note, The Wind Rises.
Oh yeah, a very depressing movie. It was a good movie. Very depressing movie though.
Yeah. Yeah. Spoiler alert: the wife dies before the plane project is a success.
Right.
And I'm like, you finally have a couple that gets together and gets married, only to kill the wife off immediately. Who are you, Disney?
Yes, they are. They'll make The Wind Rises 2, Return to the Sky. Directed to video sequel.
Yeah, except Ariel doesn't die at the in the beginning of Little Mermaid 2, but her mother dies in the beginning of Little Mermaid 3.
Goddamn dead Disney parrots.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, Guy is making airplanes for the government because war is on the horizon, and while in between this, he starts a relationship with this one lady, and they get together. She gets sick. She dies. He has a successful thing, and then that's the end of the movie. It's definitely also an abrupt ending, like Kiki, but not quite as abrupt, I guess. There's a little more closure. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's more like I succeeded when I did, but I also missed my wife.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And now excuse me. Move on to a classic Ghibli movie, My Neighbor Totoro. It's definitely as charming as people think it is, but it's not as good as people say. But it's definitely a charming little movie about about Big the cat's Japanese cousin.
Chunky the cat.
Chunky monkey, funky chunky monkey.
At least Totoro is not like, where's Froggy?
I mean, he does have a little guy. I think I forget. And then there's a cat bus, and then it's all kinds of like whimsy and magic. Ooh, with whimsy.
Whimsical. We're so whimsical, guys. You can't handle all this whimsy.
Yeah, it's yeah. Any final thoughts on Totoro?
I haven't seen it, so.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Then from Up on Poppy Hill, the last movie we saw for the marathon, and this was the movie with the almost incest in it.
Almost.
Yeah. And so basically, what happens is that this girl is like, she likes this guy, but then they are like, wait, are we related? Because like we have a picture of the same people in it, and then it takes them the whole movie, and then they finally realize, oh wait, there was a third person, and it's actually no.
Yeah, so we could go back now.
Yeah, I mean they don't show immediate like romantic interest at the very very end, but it's
Right.
basically almost without it
Hmm.
goes without saying,
Yeah.
and I'm
But
glad.
I just remember that it was like so wild that they were like, I don't care. I was like, it's like no matter what, I don't care that this is between us. I actually still want to be together. I'm like, dude.
I know the Japanese population is dwindling, but this is a little stretching it.
Yeah. I was like, so even if it was confirmed, you still wanted to get together, dude, man. Ghibli's going places.
Ride or die, bitch, ride or die.
Ride or die.
Yeah, it was definitely a pretty solid movie about ships and stuff. A lot more of an appropriate ocean waves compared to the actual ocean waves. Am I right?
Ocean Waves 2, the oceaning.
Ocean Waves 2, Sharknado.
No, that would be a movie. Imagine if like,
That would be a movie.
yeah. Just imagine if like 72 minutes of it would just be ocean waves, and then the last like 30 is like the Sharknado shows up.
Yeah. All right. All right. Let's try to quick go through these because we're already 30 minutes in.
Mm.
The Cat Returns. I watched this right after I went to Too Many Games one year, and it was definitely a
Mm.
really solid picture.
Mm-hmm. You
Um,
said it's a spin-off of Whisper of the Heart, right?
it was a sequel, a pseudo
Oh,
sequel to Whisper of the Heart because
okay.
the cat from that returns in here,
Okay.
and like this I think she's a high school student is like oh I have first world problems, oh I feel real. And like okay I saved this cat, and then suddenly cats are trying to leave her shit, and
Mm-hmm.
just be like, "Oh, I'm courting you because I'm in love with you." And it's like she's like, "What the fuck?" And then like about 40 minutes later, she wants to fuck the cat in the hat. And then okay, yeah. So what ends up happening is that she goes to the cat world, and then she slowly starts becoming a cat person,
Mm-hmm.
and then the cat in the hat saves her, tries to send her home, and then like the giant tower starts collapsing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the assholes get a bit more perspective on their own lives and are like, oh wait, never mind, I don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then she returns to the school where the cat guy leaves, and that's basically the end of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, my work here is done.
You know what? I'm actually yeah, there we go. All right. Yeah, it's a good movie. It's just a little confusing
Mm-hmm.
and a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up, we have The Secret World of Arrietty, based on the book The Borrowers, which,
Mm-hmm.
if that name sounds familiar, it was also adapted into a 1997 film featuring John Goodman.
John Goodman.
You would have seen it if you had watched anything from Lyric Studios,
Mm-hmm.
like Barney's Great Adventure, for example, a movie that
Mm-hmm.
is better than quite a few of these actually.
Better than the MCU.
I mean, you did see it with me earlier this year.
I did.
Like, yeah, the, we can. I think didn't we already discuss the truck? I think we discussed the truck on
Yeah, the truck that could do anything.
the truck that had all the food.
Yeah.
We'll probably discuss that later again too.
Yeah.
Whatever. Um, Little People, Arrietty, yeah.
Uh,
Um, was actually really nice. I really like the main character
mm-hmm.
of the film.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Uh, like, and it's sorry, I'm just struggling to. The boy that's there
Mm-hmm.
takes an interest in her in the world of the
Mm-hmm.
borrowers. And then,
Mm-hmm.
like, the handmaid person is like, oh, well, I'm going to make a fortune selling these guys on the internet. Oh.
Aha.
Yeah, and then Arietti's mother gets kidnapped and then has to go rescue her, and then
Mm-hmm.
the proof has disappeared because they are all gone, and then that's the movie.
Mm.
Like, it was like very nice, and I'm glad
Yeah.
that really glad that I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, excuse me. Intermission. Man, am I glad I'm not stuck in solitary like Mr. Beast is.
Mm-hmm.
I was just watching a video, and he's like going insane being in solitary confinement.
Oh well.
Yeah, even then, I'm losing brain cells regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Whisper of the Heart. A really solid romance story, which I did not honestly expect.
It's a charming little movie.
Yeah, so this girl basically makes a story about a cat figure that is like the dragonist from The Cat Returns,
Mm-hmm.
and like she meets, befriends, and is in love with a violin maker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he basically has to go overseas to study his craft, and then they meet up together, confess their love, and then it's all really
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Yeah. I think this is one of those movies where the abrupt ending actually worked in its favor.
Yeah, we don't need to see any more. They're together. That's all that matters.
Yeah. He's like, I love you too. Let's get married. Sure. The end. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And I'm and like it was released the year of my birth, and I'm like, thank you. If there were,
Thank you.
I would have preferred Mononoke, but that's okay as well.
Meanwhile, I got Total Recall. Oh wait, that's a good movie.
Yeah. All right. Then we have Spirited Away, another classic Ghibli movie picture.
Yep, definitely.
So in the dub, uh, she's voiced by Lilo from Lilo and Stitch.
Oh yeah, and Samara from The Ring.
Yeah, and it's nice to see her getting another role as a lead again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see. So the parents become pigs, and she works in a bathhouse in order to figure out a way to turn them back.
Uh,
Meets I forget their names.
you're right.
Meets
But she
this
goes on an adventure, a whimsical adventure,
what was
and
good.
gets them back.
Yeah, and is cleaning up a bathhouse,
Mm-hmm.
and what is it? No Face comes in and gives people gold, and then spits
Mm-hmm.
people up.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking weird, but it
From how you say it, it sounds like a really weird movie.
most Ghibli movies are weird.
Yeah, most Ghibli movies are weird when you describe them.
Yeah, the thing about it is that a couple of these movies in this category, these three specifically, I'm not sure what the order would be.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of these ones that I've seen for the first time this year, like Whisper of the Heart, Arrietty, and like Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind, they're like, I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out where they would be exactly, but they are definitely in like the top 10, top 15 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult to really place them exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, Spirited Away is solid. Then we have Kiki's Delivery Service. You haven't seen that one.
No.
All right. So Kiki is a young witch who goes off to a new town to establish her business,
Mm-hmm.
but boards up with a baker and helps out around there, and then she just starts delivering things to people, and then she like loses her magic powers for I honestly don't remember why.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's confidence issues. I could be wrong. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then she saves a boy, and then that's basically the end of it because they don't fucking get together.
Mm-hmm.
Kiki and Tombo are just like it feels like they would have gotten together by the end of it if this were any other movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, that would have been great. Fucking Gigi, her cat, hooks up with a female cat, and she doesn't get anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel bad for her. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Okay, now here's an interesting one. Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind. You have this pretty high up as well, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you have it as your number two. I
Mm-hmm.
definitely understand why. This one was a very pleasant surprise.
Mm-hmm.
This is technically the movie before the Ghibli studio was established by the first movie by Miyazaki himself.
Right. And I remember the rather funny backstory about this movie too. That when it first came out in the U.S., it was edited down to like 80 something minutes. It was called Warriors of the Wind.
Oh god,
It's
U.S.
like
being the U.S. again, fucking up
yeah,
Japanese animation.
and then apparently it was like the cut was like really bad and incomprehensible. So people were like, "What the hell is this? This is dumb." And it wasn't until years and years later when they were putting Ghibli movies on DVD. They thought that they restored Nausicaa to its original form and gave it a proper dub and stuff.
Yeah, it feels like it feels like it was given more care and thought in this version. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, I really like Nausicaa herself. I really
Mm-hmm.
like the plot of everything,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels like a very nice ride from
Yeah.
beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Huh. Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, my memory of these is starting to fade, and that's really not a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's like this adorable little sidekick animal thing that Nausicaa has,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I'm glad that it. I think it survives the whole movie. I'm not sure.
I think it does.
Yeah, and it's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Nausicaa rides the wind on her glider thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright, and then we got another classic, Howl's Moving Castle.
Mm-hmm.
One where not only is there a couple, but they fucking kiss. That barely happens anymore.
I know, right? I remember seeing it when it opened at the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. And like there was a group of teenage girls that would not stop swooning over Hal.
Gee, I wonder why.
I mean, when you're voiced by Christian Bale, it's bound to happen.
Yeah. Alright, so girl works in a hat shop, gets cursed to look like an old woman by this fat bitch. I don't know. And then goes, basically runs away, and then gets picked up by Howl's Moving Castle, becomes the caretaker of the castle itself, and then the curse basically starts going away on its own, sort of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then and then it's another fucking war movie.
Oh, there's another one. Just here you go, war.
It's yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, I'm just readjusting these things now that I'm talking about them. I'm like, okay, these three are better than it, and better than like the two other ones. Yeah, so I'm just trying to reprocess my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it, and then like there's yeah. You know what? Sorry, I dozed off for a second. Okay, next is Castle in the Sky, a movie that it was like Whisper of the Heart, where it impressed me, but even more so than that.
Mm-hmm.
So this girl basically falls from the sky and has a necklace thing, and so she and this guy who wants to find a floating island, floating castle in the sky, go on an adventure trying to evade the capture, or try to evade her capture. It's like, do all these sorts of things. I'm just like, yeah, this is the kind of movie that I like. Yes, please. And then they're not, and like it does, like they're not even like they don't fucking get together at the end of it, and it's like, yeah, that does bother me, like Kiki, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking okay. So I'm very convinced that either Ghibli movies specifically or Miyazaki himself has a thing against long-haired girls. Because
I hate 'em.
yeah, because in fucking Howl's Moving Castle, she cuts off her hair to help Calcifer for a reason, and then like a lot of these other characters have short hair already.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, and then, oh, I have pigtails. Let's have those just shot off by a fucking gun. I'm like, seriously?
He likes what he likes.
It makes me want to be a movie director.
Yeah. Like, when you're a movie director, you could put all your likes in there.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't really take it away from how great the movie is. It has a really good vibe and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend it. I highly recommend all of the movies in this tier and the one above it for sure.
Yeah.
But if we want to talk about movies I vibe with, there is no movie that I vibe with more on a core level than Porco Rosso.
Mm-hmm.
Like it has a lot of the things that make a lot of the movies that we've already talked about great, and it just like has them at an even higher level.
Mm-hmm.
Like the vibes are great, the characters are solid and funny.
Mm-hmm.
Dub is fantastic. Story is very solid.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of the, like like the engineer of the new plane, Fio, is one of my favorite Ghibli characters of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and this, I watched this and The Wind Rises at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
and I vastly preferred this over The Wind Rises.
I was like, it turns out they're in the same universe.
And I'm just like, yeah, I really do like this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. You see, this is what happens when you don't drink coffee, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. And like I really like the opening where it's like so these sky pirates are trying to get treasure from a like a caravan that's carrying all these kids and okay, like it's like they're touring on a boat and like there's like a whole like it's like a school trip sort of thing, and it's like all these little girls are being siphoned into the into the bad guys' pirate ship, like the pirate airship, and they're just messing around with things, asking invasive questions, and it's just a lot of fun. And then they're like, "Oh look, there's Porco." When he shows up, and then it's like, yeah, he basically has to take them all back on his own airplane.
Mm.
And it's like the whole vibe of that opening scene alone was reason enough to put it so high. But everything else about it makes it clear that it deserves to be up here.
Mm-hmm.
But the two other movies are up here for, I guess, more up. Well, I'll go into that. You haven't seen Porco Rosso yet.
No.
You have any thoughts on any of the previous ones we've discussed before we move on to the lead of this one and then the lead of the next one?
No, I pretty much agree with everything that you said.
All right. So my number 2 movie is Ponyo.
Mm-hmm.
And you have it in the middle of the tier. Well, you go into it first.
No, yeah, like Ponyo is a really good movie. Very it's one of those definition of like a comforting movie, like a comfort food movie, where you can watch it, have a good time, and then feel like your day's better because you watched it. Like it was definitely one of those where the story's very charming, the characters are fun. Another case where both the dub and the sub are equally good. And it's like and I like the main boy's mom.
The relationship that develops between Ponyo and Sosuke is one of my favorites in any anime film.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like this guy literally made it so that this fish girl could become it's like Pinocchio and the Little Mermaid sort of.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, solid. And then like near the end of the film, it's like, you swear your life to protect Ponyo and everything. It's almost like they're gonna get married or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, thank you. Sounds great. Sounds solid. And like Ponyo's very energetic about everything, and they live on a.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no. There's another thing that I noticed about Ghibli movies. They live on oceanside towns.
Yeah. They always live by the ocean. They like water a lot.
Water and water and water, water, water and water and water, water and water and water, water.
Is the Ghibli verse just a offshoot of Waterworld or something? What's going on here?
Yeah. And yeah, like everything about it is really solid, but the relationship between them and what ends up happening at the ending just push it slightly over the edge of Porco Rosso.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, and now we get to my favorite, and I believe is also your favorite, Princess Mononoke from 1998.
Yeah, this is Mononoke. That movie rules.
Yeah, yeah. The only thing I don't like about it is that they don't get together by the end. But I can
Mm,
kind of understand why at the same time I don't really. But
mm,
like everything about this movie, the sub version, the dub version, the visuals, the music, the
mm,
story, the characters, everything is
mm.
fucking perfect.
Pretty much. And I remember like a couple of years ago, or like before the pandemic and stuff like that. A Regal was showing Ghibli movies, and one of them was Princess Mononoke, and I went to go see it with a friend. I'm like, yeah, this movie holds up on the big screen. I wish I saw it on the big screen sooner.
I've
Because I only saw it when it was like on DVD and whatnot. I didn't get to see it in theaters because Disney felt like it was fine to put it in like two theaters when it first came out.
it's one of the main reasons why I regret not having Max as a subscription service,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
Ghibli movies are on Max, and
Right.
I want to be able to see this on my TV all the times without any compromises of quality.
Right.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, for the record, except for when the pandemic was going on, I saw Mononoke in theaters every single time it's come back for Ghibli Fest.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I saw it, I believe, was 2018, and then
Mm-hmm.
2019, and then I've seen it every year since then.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's definitely like a great movie, and one that's probably the most rewatchable out of all of these movies.
Yeah, I could literally stop whatever the hell I'm doing and rewatch this movie any time of the day.
Mm-hmm. I also remember being like shocked at how violent the movie can be. Like when the guy's arms get torn off by a single
Okay, yeah,
arrow.
yeah. So what happens is that this guy, I forget his name. Why do I forget his name?
Ashitaka.
Ashitaka and San is yeah, okay. So Ashitaka gets cursed by a boar that ate a ball of iron, and
Mm.
now has tentacle hentai worm things around his body,
Mm.
and so curses him with this poisonous thing that will kill him. And before he dies, Ashitaka wants to know why, to find the source of the hatred of the Iron Ball.
Mm.
And so he heads west to Irontown, and this lady, I forget her name, is running the Irontown, rescuing these girls from brothels all over the world,
Mm.
all over the country. I don't know.
Mm.
And she's basically like, I want to expand into the forest, and then he's like, okay, but I'm gonna go ahead and to tell you that if more boars and stuff start swallowing things, shit could go down. And then he
Mm.
leaves, and then Sun and the wolves attack, and then he goes and gets in between them, and it's like,
Mm.
this is the reason. This is all wrong. I will take San and leave. And
Mm.
then he fucking like with his one hand pushes a huge wooden gate up and out of the fucking place. I'm like,
Mm.
this guy could kill you all. I swear.
Mm.
Yeah, and then
Doesn't everyone look at him like, oh shit, he really could kill us all?
yeah, and the one guy who's like, don't you know what you're doing? And then is like, and he watches it, it's like,
Huh?
yeah. All right, and then San and Ashitaka meet up. They go to I think they go to the forest.
Mm.
Yeah, and then they bond for a while, and then he leaves.
Mm.
Well, temporarily to get to be like, I found the answer. I'm gonna keep going somewhere. And he's like, wait a minute, they're all gonna go to war. Oh shit! And then he goes back. And
Mm.
then they kill the god of the forest, which starts killing people. Anything and everything around it starts to die.
Mm.
They return the head just in time, and then they survive, and then his curse gets healed.
Mm.
And then they're like, we can't be together, but I will protect the city, make sure everything's okay. Like, and she's like, okay.
Okay, sure.
Like, that's the only thing I don't like about this movie. Everything else is perfect. I think I've said my piece. I think that's everything I want to say. So, any final thoughts on Mononoke?
Nope, great movie. 10 out of 10. No notes.
10 out of the 10. Wood animal again.
Wood animal again.
Okay, where did I put everything? I don't quite remember. Ghibli 3. Okay. Yeah, alright. And then that's it for that. Stay tuned. We'll be taking a small intermission, and then we'll be right back with our year in review.
Mm.